Right, so it's all very well and easy when things are going good to make little videos and put them out there. But with this experiment, I'm going to show you things that don't turn out to be perfect, whatever. So with the Mikan or Satsuma in the front, I've pinched out all the fruits, any little fruits, because basically I want all the energy to go into the tree in its roots and in the wood to be able to survive their first winter here. So the last few days temperatures have gone up dramatically. I have my feeding routine down where they are getting soaked. They don't like, it's not they do, what I'm saying is they're doing really well here in my garden, getting soaked. Lots of nice growth. I'm feeding them a high NPK. There's still fruits forming, still flowers forming. I'm not worried about the flowers and the fruits, but they're all good signs anyway. So I'm just gonna keep repeating the process of you don't want to let them dry out, the persimmon or the citrus. You don't want to let them dry out. So in between the feeds, they're going to get just water as well. So they're doing really well. The last 3 days where the temperatures have really peaked, the flowers on the persimmon have changed colours. I'm not too sure if they're going to drop or what's going to happen. A lot of the advice coming up is you just need consistency with the watering. If you're not consistent with the watering, they can drop fruit. If you're feeding them while they're in flower, they can drop fruit. So I'm still feeding them. I'm not worried if they drop. It's all about the roots and building a strong tree. The ragno here it is growing, but it's a lot slower, and maybe it's a different tree to the lampadina. Citrus in the front are growing as well. The fruits in the field, they're all growing. The nashi pear, they were the only trees here that had the ants, and the ants were farming and harvesting the green fly. So I gave them an organic spray. They got leaf curl as well. It's after clearing up. I'm starting to give them good soaks, but the mulch definitely works because the ground is moist or damp anyway. So with the nashis, I just have to keep an eye, but they're looking really healthy. I'll start to train the trees, the branches, to go out to the side here, and this one here to open up the centre for the seasons to come. You can see the leaf curl here, but just new injections of growth. So it's close to 7 feet now. I think that's Chojuro. Yeah, they're all doing really well here with the sun, and also in the mornings the light is going to come through more. I'm starting to open up to here. I won't open up the full way down because I want that shade in the midsection of the wood there. I think the Giro, yeah, they've started to change colour as well. I'm not too sure if this is a good or a bad thing. I've only left 1, 2, 3 flowers here. It would be great to taste some fruit. I was really worried at the start of the year when I put these down. These were the cultivated varieties of the pawpaw. They were basically just really thin sticks. But on the advice is you give them loads of manure blended up with the soil, give them full sun, and give them a good heavy mulch and manure as well on top. So you set the roots up and absolutely soak them when you come in to water them. Absolutely saturate them, because that's their natural kind of habitat. In their natural habitat, they would be like that near riverbanks and such. So they really come on with the heat, the sun, and give them a soak. I've started to feed all these plants and fruit trees with the high NPK, and they're all doing really well. So yeah, so these are two of the citrus. One here, this is the trifoliate Pancerus, one with all the thorns. Look at these things. So I took out the some of the palms here, along here, and they've gone into, some have gone into the dry bed and some have gone into a bed up above. The Keys gift, wasn't expecting anything from this because it was just basically a stick that I had, bare root stick. It developed fruit. I just cut them in there. There was 2 flowers developing and pinched them out, got rid of them. So you can see the ants here, but they haven't done any damage. So yeah, that's been moved to the full sun. Anyway, back to the Pancerus trifoliata. I bought 2 plants, and these are supposed to be the hardiest rootstock of all. Not the best for producing fruit or lots of fruit. There's better rootstocks for giving you more fruit and better fruit. But put them into a field area. So I've put them here. So they've gone in where the palms were, and where these palms were, there was lots of stone and builder's gravel, like this stuff here, blended with the soil. So they will have drainage. But I noticed there was plants, foliage coming up down at the bases, and I basically teased them out, and I got 2 free Pancerus trifoliata here, which I've potted up. Really good strong roots. They're really hardy, tough plants. So this is like the crabapple of citrus. It looks good, but they're not good to eat. They're full of pips. Not much juice in them either. Since I transplanted the Mirabelle, the Nancy, the green gauge, no, it's not a green gauge. The Mirabelle, yeah, hasn't showed any signs of shock or dieback. I suppose the fruit trees that were over there under the shade, they weren't there long enough to set their roots. And I've just given it fresh composted manure, fresh mulch, and I've given it 2 really heavy soaks since, and yeah, getting plenty of growth. Really looking forward to getting fruit off this over the years. So these 2 Panceras, I'll probably put one in here and then one over here. One there, one here. I'll probably have to build up with stone and manure and stuff. So I've added another fruit tree. It's only a small little bush at the moment. Fantastic leaves on it, but I think it's after even getting more colour since I've put it out into the blazing sun. It's already, now it came with these flowers, which would be the pomegranates. And this is a pomegranate called Wonderful. The pomegranate I got out the front, basically I think it was just dead in the pot. It never developed whatsoever. That was the Inka. I don't know if pesticides or something happened to it anyway. So it just wasn't growing. Now I've seen a quick video where you can take cuttings and put the hormone rooting powder on it and pot them up, and with the smaller branches on the tops that had some small leaves, I've taken some cuttings just to see if anything happens, if it bounces back. But I'm really surprised with the Parfianke, because I think it was a 4 or 5 year old tree. It was in a raised mound. I didn't oversaturate it. I was consistent with the watering. With the pomegranate, I was kind of worried maybe was I giving it too much water or not enough water. I didn't really know what to do. But I thought this was a good option to go back to a small plant. Same with small palms. If you buy small, the roots are going to set much better than buying a big 6 foot palm, putting it in, because that 6 foot palm won't have roots, 6 feet of roots developed. So if I can keep this alive, obviously I'm going to put a wind and rain cover over it for the winter, and I'll probably give it a heavy mulch or bark chip around the base to keep any kind of cold getting down into the roots there. And if I can get this through a couple of winters, we'll see what happens then. I'm going to pinch out any fruits that try to develop on this. We'll see what happens. So that's the Wonderful pomegranate. I've left 3 plums on the Stanley. It's very tempting to leave more, but yeah, this was actually when I was going back into getting the fruit trees. I just remember my sister had there was a huge big plum tree out the back garden, and it just had masses and masses of dark purple plums with a kind of a yellow golden centre, and they were just fantastic, delicious. And there were so many of them they couldn't all be picked, and then the wasps, like thousands of wasps, just moved in. But yeah, so I decided, yeah, definitely go for a good plum. The Stanley is hardy and it's very fruitful. It's grown really well. It's probably over 7 feet now. And that went down in winter. I think that I put that down in December. I moved it from over here up to here to give it a bit more sun. Fuji is growing really well. Got a bit of leaf curl here. I gave that a spray. But I've given it a soak, really good soak of water, and I think it's made it stronger and healthier. So the next time I come around, I'll use the feed. So quite recently, with the changes in the tunnel here, I got another peach, Dixie Red. It's an American peach, and it must be like 4 or 5 years old easily, and it just went back from day one. It died back. The heat, I think it coincided with the heat wave, and the temperatures inside here are astronomical. Like, there's no point in even looking at, well, it's cooling down now. It's saying, what, 30 degrees C. This thing was just basically in the red, and I think it went into a bit of shock. Now, if you look at the Inka, it's doing perfectly well. since it had the, oh look at this. No, I don't think that's a problem with the leaves there. Anyway, since I brought it in, it's after getting a new flush. It's doing really well. And I've been giving that, just keeping it moist. So you can summer prune peaches because they peach on the new growth. So the new growth that comes out of this, they will fruit, supposedly. So I'm hoping that it's just going to drop the leaves like this. It dropped all the leaves and it got another flush, so we can see not all the leaves have dropped. I just come in and just chopped anything from the center. I could possibly chop this one out as well here and just open up the center. But just on closer inspection, you know, it's nice green healthy shoots. The leaves are okay. Starting to see green buds are starting to come out, so I think it might be just acclimatizing to its conditions that are here, and it should do well. The figs that were from the south of France, this is bounced back a bit. It's not doing too bad. I'm gonna pinch out these figs, but the leaves, just with the heat, they all just, even though I was soaking the soil, they're just curling up. I think it's dropped a few. This one here has basically just fried itself. The leaves have come off, but the stems are okay. Here we see new buds are coming out here, down here. So I think it's going to throw up a new, this is the Violet Dauphin, I'm not too sure how to pronounce it. And this is the Violet de Soleil, is it? Solis. Leave that there. So yeah, I'm going to be pinching out the fruits. I've got to guarantee I give the plant as much chance possible to develop its roots. The orange, this is the Washington navel orange. This arrived with fruits. I'm going to pinch these out now as well. I think there's 3 or 4. Yeah, I'm going to be pinching these out. I need all the energy to go into the roots and developing a strong tree. It might, if I develop these fruits into oranges here in the tunnel, which they possibly could with all this sun and heat, it mightn't get through its first winter here. So we'll see what happens. This is very, very much an experiment. We'll see what happens. So this one here is the Rouge de Bordeaux, and I think it's because it's so small. The heat hasn't had that much of an impact. Also, it's close to the door, so whatever this vent here with the mesh, whatever breeze, there's hardly any breeze coming through here. It's doing all right. You can see new growth here. Okay, so if you're thinking of getting into fruit, any fruit, you know, berry bushes, fruit trees or vines, whatever you're into, give it full sun, as much sun as possible. The sun and the heat is what at the end of your season will determine the sweetness of your fruits. So the sugars will change. Like I said about the Michelin cider apple tree in the full shade under an oak, the apples were as sweet as any dessert apple. The dogs were wolfing them. That's what drew my attention. And in here, in that dark area in here, there's a crab apple in the ditch, and those apples were sweet as well. So if you give them full sun as much as possible. I've just taken out a section here so it can come across the end. Yeah, you're going to have better chance of having tastier fruits. So I've just given the new pomegranate a good soak here. It's in an area where there was a palm and there's lots of sand and gravel and everything, so there's going to be drainage for this as well, which is good. Look at the colour already. So, Pomegranate Wonderful. Hopefully this one will work out better.